The Albuquerque Police Department almost looks like it's in free fall, with them getting it one mess almost handled and another pops up. I could fill weeks of videos up with all the scandals in recent years. One that is making headlines recently is where Officer Liam King did an exceedingly intimate search of a female suspect, which of course was when his body camera was off. The DA's office was confident enough of what they were doing that they put him on the Brady list along with bringing charges. This seems to be a case of command failure with the department, as there are far too many instances where these officers end up being violent or like this guy. That means that the officers in the department feel like they can do all these things. I hope that the people of the city can get the right people in office to clean all of this up, because this is not protecting and serving. Instead, this is causing more mayhem, costing the taxpayers more money, and you can't feel safe when you have cops that are acting like this in your streets. Seriously. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Now, you can go do all the research. I'm got a Substack article on this. Links just down below. Here from KOAT7 is what happened that got King arrested. Albuquerque police officer Liam King pled not guilty to multiple charges on Monday relating to a 2023 incident when he was accused of inappropriately searching a female suspect in Albuquerque. He is currently on administrative leave, according to APD. So, King was indicted and charged last month for false imprisonment, demanding or receiving a bribe, violation of ethical principles, and sexual contact. The alleged victim is not being named. Her body was redacted in a new lapel video obtained by KOAT. She told investigators King approached her on June 25, 2023, asking if she wanted a cigarette. It was a slow night and he was bored, the woman recollects. She estimates the total interaction with the officer was around 45 minutes. King's body camera was turned off. Based on the woman's recollections, around 6 hours after the interaction, King allegedly asked her 3 times. Around 6 hours after the interaction, King allegedly asked her 3 times if he could search her after running her name through his database and finding she had a non-extraditable warrant in Sandoval County. I'm not going to look in your purse or anything. I'm just going to search your body, the woman told investigators. The woman said King asked her to put her hands on the car and told her to spread her legs. Immediately, I felt uncomfortable, the woman told investigators. She says King began to search and ran 2 fingers on the inside of her underwear, touching her private areas as a result. I've been searched a lot, but never searched like that at all, ever, she said. The woman said her breast was exposed as King continued his search. I immediately took my hand off the car and I put the hand to the chest. And I was like, "Officer, I don't think you're supposed to be doing that," she said. In an interview with detectives, King confirmed her breast was exposed as a result of the search. He repeatedly told investigators he did not perform any criminal sexual contact. Okay, and here be another KOAT article is about some cases that got dropped because of this, and King being put on the Brady list. While prosecutors deliberated on whether to charge an Albuquerque police officer on sexual misconduct charges, he was making arrests, many of which were ultimately dismissed, and at least 2 felony cases were tossed out directly tied to his inclusion on a misconduct list and the investigation into him. Former prosecutor John Day says the case could highlight a breakdown between the DA's office and APD, which led to some of the officers' felony arrests being tossed. So, who's at fault? I mean, that's a question that's above my pay grade, Day said. The DA's office sent a memo to APD asking why King was on leave when the officer informed them he couldn't testify in a case. They were wanting to know so they could put the officer on what is called a Giglio or Brady list. These are lists of police officers who have had misconduct reports, who have had reports of bad incidents, who have had reports of dishonesty, Day said. Day said prosecutors are legally required to disclose this information to defense attorneys in cases where such officers are involved. Currently, there are 19 officers in Bernalillo County, including King, who are on the list. If I am a defense attorney in a criminal case and I see that this officer has had reports of dishonesty, I'm going to tear into that like a pit bull with raw steaks a day. I like his way of putting things. In King's case, the DA's office filed at least 2 notices citing his inclusion on the list as a reason for dismissing cases. Target 7 searched through court records and found that 40 of King's felony cases were dismissed after he was allowed to return to work, citing these reasons: 5 cases where the state declined to prosecute, 5 cases dismissed in the interest of justice, 28 cases requiring further investigation, 2 cases explicitly dismissed due to King's presence on the Giglio list, a record of officers with documented misconduct. Most of these cases involve drug-related offenses from traffic stops. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Okay, now this guy is innocent until proven guilty, but I can't imagine, even though this woman that is accusing him is sounding like somebody who has had run-ins with law enforcement officers in the past, I can't believe that the DA's office would go ahead with charges, putting him on the Brady list, and other such things, and not be sure of what they are having to deal with. May not be the case, but it does certainly seem to be that way. And for that matter, that's a pretty explicit thing, but it does sound very reasonable. It doesn't sound like it's coming out of some left field way of things. And so that could partially be a ring of truth to it. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that this officer is needing to have these things happen, or for that matter, having those cases dropped? I mean, something seems to be up with this dude. Anyway, this is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're conservative, I don't care if you're liberal, I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.